Introducing the 300 horsepower all-new BMW 1 Series.
I don't know if that's a GTR. If it's a GTR, that really quick BMW is no longer so quick. Yeah, the best street supercar ever made. Love it. Whoa, and the beam! Look here, against the light, favored by virtue of a whole shot.
It's alright. Hush.
Welcome back, everybody. Canada's Burger Motorsports. Today we have the BMW 135i here at Exclusive Motors in Nampa, Idaho. We are not at BMS right now, 1,000 miles from BMS. We're going to be dynoing our 08 135i. Our goals with it today are around 750 wheel horsepower. A huge thanks and shout out to Exclusive Motors here in the Nampa, Idaho area for letting us come in and use their dyno today. We really appreciate it because we don't have our own personal dyno here. So having the ability to come over here and use theirs is a true blessing. A new feature on the 135, we've got a dump running straight out the bottom. So it's going to be really loud in here. Hopefully it don't light anything on fire under there. I don't think it will, but we should be pretty solid. While Vladdy is continuing to strap down the car and get the dyno ready, check out his Integra with a K24 Z3. Just dynoed last week at over 1,000 wheel horsepower, 1,050 wheel horsepower to be exact.
Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if
135 is ready to go on the dyno. We're just getting the ECU flash. We're at 70%. The flash is done, so I'm gonna hop in the car. We're gonna take the car to map 6 on JB4, take it up to 20 PSI, and then scale it from there. Ultimately try and get to 750 wheel horsepower as quickly as we can. Here goes run 1 on 20 PSI. Ran our 20 PSI run. The car did 586 wheel horsepower and 587 wheel torque. We'll have Ryan show you guys the graph. The graph looks super smooth, as you guys can see. Just kind of goes up top and stays steady, 20 PSI all the way through. Kind of recap what we've done so far. We made 586 wheel horsepower, trying to target 20 PSI, running into a bit of an overboosting problem. And then we turned it up to 22 PSI, still overboosting, made 633 wheel horsepower. When we were targeting that 22 PSI and made that 633, it was actually overboosting to 24. We've got the overboosting situation dialed back in, so it's hitting a true 22 PSI. And the car made 585 wheel horsepower, which is very consistent with that original first run where it overboosted to 22, targeting 20 PSI. The blow-off valve is picking up a bit of oil out of the charge pipe and spitting it out as soon as I lift from Watt. We're originally kind of thinking that it might be a PCV issue. This car hasn't run, like, honestly, truly hard for about 5 years now, so we're trying to get the ball rolling on it again. While we don't think that it is the PCV because the PCV ports are blocked, we think that it's most likely turbos. So that being said, we're gonna max this thing out today on whatever these turbos will give. And then should we go single turbo, or should we do some Alibaba turbos, or whatever else you guys would like to see? Let us know down in the comments on what turbos you'd like to see on the 135i next. Now that we figured out our overboosting problem, we're gonna start cranking up about 2 PSI at a time. So this next pull, it's gonna be about 24 PSI up top. Let's see how she rips. Timing's looking good. Gonna keep turning it up from here. 634 wheel horsepower and 642 wheel torque, all at 24 PSI. So this thing's making the gym. It really wants to get going. We're gonna keep turning it up after it cools down a bit. It's a little warm back here in Boise right now. It's about 90 degrees out. We'll just allow it some time to cool. Definitely think the turbos are on the way out. So that being said, single turbo kit coming soon. Just kind of doing this video on a whim. Obviously, I'm back in Boise, so I'm not making any content right now in California. I'll be back in California next Friday. Car looks fantastic. Let us know what other content you would like to see on the car. As of right now, the log is looking really good, so we're just gonna keep working with it and turn it up. Glad we're gonna turn it up another 2 PSI. What do you think it's gonna do? 2 PSI more. I'm thinking we're gonna get 20 wheel horsepower per pound right now. 680. He thinks it's gonna do 680. Or it just blows up. Doesn't seem like it's smoking as bad. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
You can probably see right there, or hear right there, it was misfiring pretty bad up top, so I let out of it before we finished out the rev range. Looks like I let out of it right at like 5,750 RPM. Made 624, 671 wheel horsepower. I think those turbos are just pushing a lot of oil. The combustion chamber and spark plugs maybe getting fouled out, covered in oil. We're about to find out. The JB4 gave us a code for cylinder 6 misfiring, so we're gonna check cylinder 6, see if there's oil on that plug.
Make sure it's not cracked.
Vladdy coming in super clutch here. We're gonna go ahead and swap the spark plugs on it. Not swap the spark plugs, but we're gonna drop the gap. They're at 020. We're gonna drop them to 018, and hopefully that holds us. They're still gonna get super wet. We're just trying to make some power here. We know the car is super solid right now because of the turbos. Trying to do the best that we can to provide the content for you, like possibly blowing motor. Hopefully not. No, we're not gonna blow this motor. The motor's solid. Plug, you guys can purchase this down in the description box below. This is our Burger Motorsports spark plug gap tool. Makes gapping plugs super easy, as well as our Burger Motorsports feeler gauge. Head to the link down below. Also, when your struts don't work very well, we've been using that spark plug gap tool as a hood prop to hold it up. Twice the value for the money.
Did you mean to do that?
Yeah. Broke up again, did 621 wheel and 709 wheel torque. It looks like it's about to make a lot of power up top, but broke up, so I let out of it again around like 6,200 RPM or so. Vladdy just swapped a coil pack on cylinder number 60, if maybe that was the issue, so we'll test it. We took our plugs out, went and got some new ones. We're gonna have Vladdy throw in new plugs at 018 this time, see if we can get a few runs out of them. Most likely they're gonna foul out, but maybe they do hang in. We just honestly have no idea. Till then, we'll see how much power it can make on these hybrids until the single turbo shows up, or hybrids, whichever you guys prefer. More than likely gonna be a single turbo. Then we'll make some real jam, max out of 64, 66, because we're pretty limited to what these turbos can do today here. Hopefully 750, maybe 800. Plugs are in. Let's hop back into this car and crank it up. Our next pull is gonna be on about 32 PSI. I'm hoping it doesn't break up. It shouldn't break up. If it does break up, it's an injector problem, and we'll go ahead and swap injectors. Still continuing to break up a bit. Vladdy thinks it's a possible injector issue, so he's swapping those over for us right now. He's gonna get them coated. I guess we'll see. If this isn't it, this doesn't solve the issue, then turbo. All right, YouTube, you're going in my mouth. Unfortunately died on us, so we're gonna work with this iPhone, so don't mind the quality. The car made 762 wheel horsepower and 779 wheel torque at about 31-ish pounds of boost, 32 pounds of boost. We're gonna take it up to 35. And if the car can take it in itself, we honestly have no idea. Well, let's hop in it. This is pretty much the last run of the night. We'll see if this hangs in there. Hopefully, cross some fingers. If it does, it should hit about 800 wheel. Hopefully, maybe, we'll see. She's tapped, I think, for its current setup, whatever's going on. It's breaking up. I think it's just these turbos sending too much oil into the combustion chamber and fouling out the spark plugs. Seems to be breaking up at about 5,600 RPMs pretty consistently, but this is what we got to. On that last one where it was breaking up, we're trying to target 35.5 PSI. It made 734 wheel horsepower and 818 wheel torque. Died off right around that 5K mark. We did the best with what we could with these turbos. Ultimately, I think it's just getting the plugs fouled out. Glad he just fired up his Integra. Woo. That thing a beast or what? Vlad also got the taillights to learn, so thank you so much to Vlad. The next day, we got the 135 behind us. I went and made some test hits out on our closed private road in Mexico. These tires aren't good enough. These tires are about like 5 years old. If you guys have any recommendations, let me know. I might just go with some ET Street SS's. Dynoed this car in the past, but it hasn't ran for so many years. We just want to get it up and going, running properly. We did so. Minus the turbos. I was running some lower boosts last night. 20 PSI, 600 wheel horsepower. It rips. It just doesn't have the grip for the or the racetrack, our closed racetrack, I should say, not the We would never do that on the We're not really sure what you guys know about this car. Some of you guys have been following us for the past 13, 14 years, 15 years, 16 years. If you guys don't know anything about this car and want to learn about this car more, let us know down in the comments. Or any content that you would like to see with this car, let us know. I've thought about maybe just scrapping the whole fast boy, turn it into a full-on drift car with an angle kit up front. We just got a local drift track here in Emmett, Idaho. Let us know down in the comments what you would like to see next with this car, as we'd love to start a series with it, dependent on what you guys want. We're willing to do anything. If you want to see this turn into a rally car and get jumped, it may just have to happen. Let us know down below. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment if you liked the video, and we'll catch you next Friday at 10 a.m. Thank you guys. See you next time.